Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
After an unimaginable loss, an Inkster mother is desperate for help to bury her two boys. Topping our news tonight at 11, the two teenage boys died when their house caught fire 2 weeks ago.
15 and 17 years old, one with special needs. Their mother found them dead when she came home from work. And now the community is rallying to get donations to help. Mara McDonald is live in Inkster tonight. Mara, friends and family gathered at the home tonight.
They sure did, Kimberly, and let me show you. Take a look. You can see they've set up a makeshift memorial to the boys here at the house, but the reality is this family is having a real struggle coming up with the money to bury these two.
They need help with giving their loved ones, their children, a decent burial.
It is all just so sad. 17-year-old Alex and 15-year-old Anthony were at home on October 21st, which was a Friday, when something caused a fire in their house. Their mom, Shannon, discovered them.
Came home from work to find my house smoky, dark. When I walked in the house, I couldn't see. Finally turned my phone on and I could see my son by the couch. And I finally realized that it looked like it had been a fire, but there wasn't nothing burning. But both of my boys, my one son was in his bedroom and my other son was by the couch where it looks like the fire started.
Police say the whole thing is just a terrible accident, and now their mom is trying to come up with the money to bury both of her boys.
My biggest worry right now is how I'm doing the funeral and how I'm getting my sons buried.
It's a real struggle. She started a GoFundMe, and community leaders are trying to assist.
And so, Father God, we just praying for everyone that's present.
To remember the boys, friends and neighbors came to the home tonight, where a homemade donation box with their names on it sat on a table near where everyone gathered, and released balloons as a sign of love and remembrance.
Alex and Anthony. In God's care.
God's care.
Back here live, I was speaking to one of the board members at the Inkster Housing Commission who was out here tonight, and she told me that absolutely the priority is funding to bury these boys, but this family, there's not a lot left in that house that is going to be salvageable here. They're going to need help overall, and we've got all the info up on clickondetroit.com. We're live in Inkster tonight. I'm Mara McDonald. Back to you.
Just heartbreaking. Okay. Mara, thanks.
State Supreme Court elections don't generally generate the biggest headlines, but the Michigan Supreme Court race has become quite a bit hotter tonight. Running for re-election is Republican Justice Brian Zara. Several months ago, he was in the minority and ruling against putting the abortion Proposal 3, on the ballot. Tonight, NBC News is reporting that in 1983, Zara drove his then-girlfriend to an abortion that he paid for. That girlfriend would later become his wife, though they are now divorced. But NBC cites an interview with Alyssa Jones, who said, "I'm grateful I had a choice, and I think he's grateful he had a choice." In response to the story, Zara sent us this statement. As a rule of law jurist for more than 27 years, nearly 12 years on the Michigan Supreme Court, I have never allowed my personal opinions or my personal life to cloud my interpretation of law. This is a commitment I have made to Michiganders, and one I have not and will not break as I continue to serve our state. Because of this, I will not discuss personal matters or political points of view publicly, end of quote. That Proposal 3 decision from the court earlier this year was the one that decided the proposal could go on the ballot despite the formatting problem. Remember, the words all bunched together. It was a 5-2 decision. Zara, one of the two, voting against.
A downriver man wants everyone to know about a busboy who saved his life. The 79-year-old man was eating at the Ram's Horn in Southgate a couple of weeks ago when he started choking. Local 4's Pamela Osborne picks up the story from there.
Jerry was eating alone at this table when some of his food got lodged in his throat. He was in a desperate situation, unable to talk, unable to breathe. Fortunately for him, he didn't have to wait for help to arrive. Help was already here.
It was a corned beef and Swiss cheese sandwich, by the way. One of those thick ones.
These days, 79-year-old Jerry Brohl says he treats his food with a lot more respect. The former EMT was eating that corned beef and Swiss sandwich at this booth when some of it became stuck.
It got lodged, so I grabbed my throat started gesturing that I needed help.
I saw him kind of motioning towards his throat.
I was frightened. I couldn't breathe, couldn't talk.
And he was kind of a little blue in the face, and he started waving me over.
That's 19-year-old Aaron Kay. He's a busboy at the Ramshorn restaurant and was the first one to notice Jerry in distress.
When I first saw it, every nerve in my body just was like, oh crap.
He didn't panic. In fact, he knew exactly what to do.
I knew I had to do something because I knew how to do something. So
After helping Jerry to his feet, he performed the Heimlich maneuver.
I came up behind him and I put my hands like this, like right under his abdomen, and just pushed in and up.
A few moments later, Jerry's airway was clear. To everyone's relief, he was breathing again. Aaron says he learned the technique from his mom, who is a lead medical assistant at Henry Ford.
He really did good. He did a good job.
This was their first time seeing each other since that day, and since Jerry's heartfelt thank you to the young man who saved his life went viral.
I was super happy that he was okay. That made my day, to know that he was okay, to know that he posted about it.
To take care of yourself.
You too.
Yeah, all right.
All right.
I'll be seeing you, because I...
Yeah, I'm sure I'll see you around.
And really, what are the odds that a man who spent 30 years of his life teaching and performing emergency life-saving medicine would find himself on the receiving end of that care from a 19-year-old who learned that skill as a kid? Reporting in Southgate, I'm Pamela Osborne, Local 4.
To that story, Pam. Thank you. Michigan Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson says her office is doing everything possible to make sure next week's election will be safe and that all votes will be counted.
She does expect higher turnout for this midterm. She says 1.3 million voters have already returned absentee ballots, so she expects another 3 million to vote by November 8th. Benson says field teams will be on standby across the state to guarantee the safety and integrity of the election.
Election officials and law enforcement are more prepared than ever before to immediately address any attempt to interfere or disrupt the elections process or intimidate voters, and they will work with us to ensure that all voters are safe.
Meanwhile, late this afternoon, the Michigan Supreme Court ruling Michigan clerks will continue using guidance from the Secretary of State when it comes to election challengers. Today's ruling means proposed revisions to those instructions will not be made. The clerks are going to be using the same guidelines that were used in the August primary.
A Wayne County man is accused of holding his ex-girlfriend against her will for the past month and a half. Prosecutors say 22-year-old Jeremy Brock forced the 23-year-old Flat Rock woman from her home at gunpoint. This was back on September 16th. They say he then forced her to steal a car and made her drive to a hotel on Michigan Avenue in Wayne. That's where he allegedly tortured her multiple times with a baseball bat until she escaped this week. Brock is now charged with unlawful imprisonment, assault, and torture.
Another threat at South Lyon High School today, this time forcing students outside for hours as police searched for explosives. Happened this morning when school officials found a message in a bathroom that read, "SLHS is getting bombed." This is the third threat in 10 days. It has Oakland County Sheriff Michael Bouchard speaking out.
At some point, we ought to think about a process to hold, individual families that where their kids are making these kinds of threats responsible for the bill. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of time and it's a lot of resources.
South Lyon High School issuing a statement this afternoon informing students the upstairs bathrooms will be closed and that the bathrooms that will be open are going to be monitored during the entire school day.
All right, now to a warning about another major freeway closing this weekend.
Westbound I-94 closing between I-75 and I-96. That will start tomorrow night. Crews will be working on the Grand Avenue overpass. Westbound lanes should be reopened by Monday morning. That closure, keep in mind, in addition to I-75 being shut down in Oakland County, that'll be both sides of the freeway from I-696 up to Square Lake Road, with all the lanes expected to be reopened in time for the morning drive on Monday.